Christmas Eve, December 24th, back in 1968, and it changed consciousness. This is the most famous picture. Actually, it's the most commonly published photograph in all of history. 99 times out of 100, when you see a picture of the Earth, it's this picture. It was taken on December 7th, 1972, on the very last of the Apollo missions, when they were on the way back, and the sun was behind the camera. It was the only time in the Apollo missions when the sun and the Earth and the moon were all lined up, and it's the only picture of its kind. This is the first home movie of the Earth. An unmanned spacecraft was sent out to explore the universe. And as it was leaving Earth's gravity, it turned around and took this home. You can see the reflection of the sun in the ocean. Okay, this is global warming speeded up from 1884, when the first measurements of temperature with instruments were made, to 2011. It's not updated to 2013. But you can see from the graph that the yellow and red means it's warmer than the average. That's what people consider normal. And so it's definitely for real. And all around the world, we've seen really high temperatures. I do so many slideshows, I have to give you an inside secret. I love this particular slide because you don't find many thermometers that have both Celsius and Fahrenheit. No matter what country I give this in, I can use this. But this is from last summer, which was incredibly hot. And of course, in the United States, 2012 was the hottest year in recorded history. Globally, September of that month was the hottest September ever recorded. And the Arctic reached its all-time lowest daily extent. I'll show you a little bit more about that in just a moment. In my country, in the United States, I know many of you from the U.S., many from Canada, many from Costa Rica, these were the high temperature records that were broken. And you know, there are always high temperature records broken, also cold temperature records, but the ratio used to be 1 to 1. But in the last decade, it's been 2 to 1, and for much of last year, it was 10 hot temperature records for 1 cold temperature record. And if you look at the all-time hot temperature records compared to the all-time cold temperature records, 115 to 1. The only reason I show that is that you have to use statistics. Anybody here studied statistics in school yet? A few. A lot of educators think calculus is the most important math. I think statistics will, and I'm going to show you some statistics in just a minute. The hottest month ever measured in the U.S. was last July, and many of you remember how sweltering it was in the U.S. This is an interesting picture. This was an airplane at Reagan National Airport in Washington, D.C., and everybody boarded. And then the flight attendant came on and said, "I'm sorry, you'll have to get back off the plane." Why? Because the runway melted. You can see the tires have sunk into the runway. A lot of our infrastructure was built for conditions that are changing pretty dramatically now. Now, the sea temperature is going up. I'll show you some more information on that in a moment. But here's what I want you to look at here. This is the sea surface temperature on October 29th, 2012. That was immediately before Superstorm Sandy hit New York and New Jersey. And look at the areas off of the east coast of the U.S. 9 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than normal. Now, when I made my movie a few years back, it had a really good response, but it also had a lot of critics. And the single most common criticism from some of the so-called skeptics and deniers was a scene in the movie that I'm going to show you in just a moment. Here it is.
is what would happen to Manhattan. They can measure this precisely, just as the scientists could predict precisely how much water would reach the levees in New Orleans. The area where the World Trade Center Memorial is to be located would be underwater.
This is going to be a big and powerful storm. Millions of people are going to be affected all across the eastern seaboard. I think everybody's taking the appropriate preparation.
It's hard to hear you. This is the only part
And
that's
that
hard to hear.
occurs throughout all people who are potentially affected.
This extreme storm is related to the warmer ocean temperatures. Tropical storms get their energy from the oceans. Warmer oceans give it more energy.
Explosion at a consolidated Edison power plant.
More than 1 million people in 11 states are already without power.
Breaking news now from the borough of Queens, New York, where a fire there has destroyed at least 50 homes.
The Battery Tunnel in Lower Manhattan, this gets you out of the city. The tunnel is totally flooded.
And now this water is rushing over the edge of Lower Manhattan.
This was a devastating storm, maybe the worst that we have ever experienced. Many people have lost their homes. People have lost their lives.
The Hudson River, downtown Manhattan, was literally pouring into the ground zero site. All the infrastructure we have in this city is below ground. We don't have any built-in pumping capacity in the tunnel system. The electrical equipment in many cases is in the tunnel system, and now you have a serious problem. But I would expect a situation like this to recur, and I think we need a systemic solution long-term. As New Yorkers, we've gone through dark times before, and we know struggles and we know crisis. And we come back, and we come back even stronger. We work together, we work as a team. And the challenge here for us is not just to build back, but to build back better than before. Climate change is a reality. Extreme weather is a reality.